great to see so many of us here today. And really I'm going to go back to what Damien kicked us off with in really talking about the power of connected strategies. And that's the theme that I want to base this story about and telling you about the work that we're doing with eBay and how we're using the computing power of cloud to deliver next generation ads performance. So before I do that, I just want to tell you a little bit about our background and history with eBay. So we've been working with them since 2018, so some time now. And we are so fortunate. We're one of a handful of strategic search partners that are running Google shopping campaigns across the UK and EU as a CSS partner. I'm sure everyone knows who eBay is, so I'm not going to go there. But ultimately, anyone can sell on there. You know, it's if you're a business, if you're an independent, if you're a retailer, if you're a brand. So it's a hugely exciting space. But with that, it's an interesting challenge if you're a search marketer like Incubeta. And how can we possibly help a brand like eBay appear for every single live auction that they run at any possible moment beyond eBay across the search network? Well, I think it's fair to say they're giving it a very good go. Just to give you an idea of scale, just from us, obviously we don't have visibility of the whole search landscape for eBay, but in the last 3 years alone, we've driven over 1.5 million conversions. That equates to 65 million in revenue, and we've served ads. This is what blows my mind. Across 295 million products, we've served Google Shopping ads for. So I'm sure I'm going to be teaching a few of you to suck eggs just for the next 30 seconds. But for those of you that don't know what a Google CSS Partner is, in summary, back in 2018, Google started to support other comparison websites like Helku, RedBrain, Shopping.com, and ourselves, and many others, to start appearing in the Google Shopping results pages to ultimately encourage fairer competition. So eBay, and I'm sure most retailers in this room, they jumped to this opportunity and started working with CSS partners to promote their product listings, often alongside their own and other CSS partners. Ultimately, a fantastic strategy to maximize coverage of the products that you sell, increase traffic, and ultimately drive better channel revenue from Google Shopping. For eBay, CSS just makes the world of sense. Their product range is extensive, it's largely non-exclusive, and it's typically very price competitive. And it makes a huge amount of sense for them. If you think about what I've spoken about already, the eBay product range is highly fluid. Things are selling all of the time. There's coverage of highly competitive items which are resold, and really it makes so much sense for eBay to be in this space. But there's challenges with that, and that comes with the amount of products that eBay sell. So we are proactively promoting products for eBay across their appliances range, their pre-loved designer range, even marine automotive. I'm very proud to say that we've actually supported eBay in selling a number of speedboats in excess of £50,000. So it really does give you an idea to go from air fryers through to speedboats, to just give you the sense of real scale at which we're operating. So how are we doing this? This is a gorgeous slide. I don't know who put this together. The first point to note is that there's an offline conversion source that's going on in the top right-hand corner here. I did realise as I was writing that sounds a little bit like a call centre that's telling us when we've made a sale. That's not quite true. It's more of a third-party conversion source. Ultimately, something that eBay controls, tracks, and monitors to report back when we're driving conversions from the products we're running ads on. This is called the eBay Partner Network and acts as the ultimate source of truth of what's working. And we actually have a proprietary tool that talks to the offline conversion source, the eBay Partner Network, to ultimately tell us from our activity what ads are driving those products. And that's incredibly helpful because, as you can imagine, We don't want to be spending all of our money on speedboats. We want to have a broad mix based on where we're seeing our activities actually working and driving performance. So it's that conversation that's happening between our search ads and Google Ads account and the eBay partner network that's then driving the product selection. So when we ask eBay, please give us all of these products across these categories in order to push into our GCP, Google Cloud instance, that makes a lot of sense. But that's still a lot of product, even with that information of products which we're asking for. Those products remits are then going into each of these region-specific buckets. It's a huge amount of data. We're then taking that information to then categorize and cluster it correctly in BigQuery before it makes its way to the Google Merchant Center, which then allows us to then build campaigns to run Google Shopping campaigns from. Hugely complex, hugely data-intensive process. And the challenge that we were running into that we needed to find a solution for in working with Google and eBay and our own tech teams to solve was that by the time we went through this process, we were pushing products which had sold out. Remember what we spoke about earlier, there's a lot of product that's being sold on eBay where there's only one item, or there's only a very, very short window that listing is live for. And we were sending a lot of traffic to products which had sold out. What does that mean? Not a great user experience. It's unflattering the customer when they land on a page of a product that they was hoping to purchase. Ultimately, it's wasted spend from our side, and it was something we needed to find a fix for. So what did we do? We needed to look at the whole process for ingesting and optimizing data. And the two areas that we really fixed in the previous slide are those that are highlighted in orange. So the first is the single cold line bucket. It's perhaps the least glamorous of the two areas, but necessary task was to ultimately optimize our cloud infrastructure setup. We migrated away from having, if you remember, the individual markets GCP setups that we had to a far more effective single cold line bucket. And this allowed us to store data far more efficiently and only call on information that we absolutely needed. So that made a huge difference, not just in terms of the amount of data we were processing, but the speed in which we could pull it through allowed us to deal with much more manageable segments of data. Now, what I'd like to say is the more sexy part of this solution is the introduction of this thing down here, which is called the eBay, the eBay data stream. So working with eBay and the GTech engineering team to enable this new API was coming in at the Google Merchant stage. So once we had all of our product that we wanted to run ads against, this API was pairing up with the products that we had, and it was feeding it better information, more rich data about which of the products we had in there were still for sale, huge, which were on sale, which had promotions running against them, how long was there left within an auction for that particular product. Such important information that's genuinely unique and important to eBay that we could then make much better optimization decisions around. Upweighting bids, even pulling products at a real breakneck speed. And the outcome, as you can see here, was we were ultimately sending product ads through to products which are still available and for all of us to still be able to buy that fantastic air fryer that we all know and love. So hugely beneficial and hugely unique to eBay and hugely unique to the marketplace space. So I really want a lot of people to be taking away today. What are our general attributes that we really should be using in terms of how we're running great performance marketing? Got 1 minute and 5 left. So these were the results. Obviously you want to know, did this actually work? I can comfortably tell you that it did. And the outcome has just been absolutely fantastic. So on a like-for-like year-over-year period between 2023 and 2024, we've been able to over-deliver on our clicks, sales and revenue above 300% in each category. But it's the one at the end that's the most exciting for me, in that really trying to understand the business challenge of eBay. We reduced the number of expired clicks we were sending through to what were out of stock, unavailable products by 73%. And we felt that was a huge win and something which ultimately connected lots of different teams, lots of different resources to come up with a solution. And it's the eBay work that's really given us the inspiration for the PMAX optimization tool, which we're working on. We're at testing stage for now. Please do come and speak to us if you're interested to know more. But what we're trying to solve here is very much a very, very similar issue that PMAX has. In that if there's a new product that you want to push into the feed, Google, if it doesn't have data on it, it's going to be a little bit subdued in pushing that product. And ultimately, you're not really going to get the scale to really push that product within a PMAX environment. So what we're doing is we're trying to solve this challenge by standardizing the process for feeding additional data sources such as stock, margin, price points, and we're then using Vertex AI to drive real-time clustering and pushing of this information. So this is a product we think is going to add huge value, ultimately taking a very, very complex situation for eBay and then looking to apply that at scale for all of the customers across Incubeta. So a really, really nice example. Hopefully I did it justice, and thank you very much for listening to me.